Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on 790 The Bet. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency and Wally Hatchett's Comfort Food and Drinks at 6439 Summer Avenue.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning. Hey, if you're looking for a good place to go eat lunch today, I'm going to tell you to go to Wally Hatchett's. Wally Hatchett's, my good friend Tori Schoaf is out there. They're open from 7 to 2. And if you're looking for great food, that's Wally Hatchett, 6439 Summer Avenue. We're going to get Tori on next week or so to talk about some of his specials. I know Mother's Day is coming up tomorrow. Y'all better hurry up if you got to get that Mother's Day gift. But I would say if you're looking for a place to take Mom for Mother's Day, consider Wally Hatchett's on 6439 Summer Avenue. And we got a guy on the line right now, might be able to pay for several of these lunches if he wants to tomorrow. But he recently won the Major League Fishing Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit Lithium Pro Stop 3 on our favorite lake, Pickwick Lake, presented by Clovercrest in Counce, Tennessee. And that's Jon Canada out of Helena, Alabama. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Larry. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great talking to you. And we brought in, so Gene Smith doesn't have to have any technical questions, we brought in our fishing guru to sit in on this conversation because he's
good.
my
I might
expert.
need to borrow him a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm the one. John will ask the goofy questions. Ron Wong will ask you those technical questions. I just want to know what color the bait was and the name of it. That's all.
Well, the
and
color
Ron
of
can
it
take over. But
pink.
Ron Wong's on with us. Ron, you know that it's tough to win these tournaments. I mean, the Major League Fishing, the competition is so strong, and we got a guy on with us right now that was 74th after the first day. And a lot of people might toss in the towel.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't have a towel, I guess, because he didn't toss it in. So, John, tell us, how'd you go from 74th to win a $100,000 tournament?
Well, the first day, honestly, I was catching a lot of them, shallow, swimming a jig. With the water being high on Pickwick, y'all know, since you live on the Tennessee River, when the water gets up shallow, you can go catch a lot of those fish shallow, but you can be catching them shallow. And then you go out there the next day, and it's notorious, they'll pull the water down. So, I went out there the first day or so and caught a tremendous amount of fish, but they were smaller fish, shallow, just swimming a jig. I was flipping a little bit. I caught a couple on a frog and a few on a chatterbait. And I just had a feeling in my heart. I just knew that the water was going to drop. Anytime you're there, you fish around any of the Tennessee River lakes, they do fluctuate just like the Coosa Lake. All the Coosa River does the same thing. You can go find some really good fish, but you've got to figure out how to catch them if they drop that water, And so
That's right.
I just got fortunate. I just got fortunate enough to bail and run into something that was really good.
Right.
And
John,
Ron,
first of all, congratulations on your win. And I got to tell you, reading some of the results and the release that we got and everything, and, of course, I love fishing Pickwick. But when they turned that water on, that really helped you out a lot, didn't it?
Well, what happened is in our pre-practice, we only get 2 days of practice. So
Right,
our first day of practice,
right.
we had that tremendous amount of rain up there. So there was,
Yeah.
I think there was like 100,000 gallons going. And then I was actually up there at the dam trying to catch some of the spawners, some of the smallmouth up there, and they ended up turning on 10 floodgates. And so they had 100,000 going in 10 floodgates, and fishing the Tennessee River, that much current. The only time those fish do not love a tremendous amount of current is when they're spawning.
Yeah,
if it's pre-spawn or post-spawn and there's that much current, you're going to catch them somewhere.
That's
and I
right.
spent a lot of time trying to catch them up there, but I caught them just on the backside of bars where those fish could get out of the current, where it wasn't as strong.
And again, the rally itself, he just got better and better as you went. Day 2, 1915, got up to 7th place. Another limit, 17-8 on day 3, got you to 3rd place. So what was your thoughts when you got to 3rd place? You knew you were in championship Sunday. what did that mean to you, and how did you go into that attack mode for the championship Sunday when you ended up with 20 pounds even?
Well, I guess the second day, to lay it out really good, the second day, me, Justin Lucas, and Loberg, the other guy that ended up leading the final day, were all fishing in a small area the first day or two. And so that area was kind of dwindling away. I felt like the fish, the pressure had gotten to them, and it was about the most we could get out of that area. And so I bailed at, like, say, lunchtime or 1 o'clock on Friday. And I've fished history, like a lot of us have fished stumps and stuff on the main lake. I wanted to go down there and throw a chatterbait. I wanted to throw a swim bait, a trap, trying to catch some of those fish, but there was no wind at all. It was just slick calm, and I was like, I just felt like the good Lord told me, hey, I needed to check one or two of these areas that I had fished in history. And so I reached down and I pick up a shaky head, and like literally the first stump I throw it to, I catch like a 2.5 pounder. I've only got two fish, so just to catch a limit fish, that's like a huge confidence booster. And then I catch another one on the next stump, and I end up breaking that thing off. Probably 10 minutes in, I break it off. I reach down in the box, grab a drop shot. The immediate next tree I flip to, I catch a 4-pounder, and it was like a light bulb went off. And so I caught that 20-pound bag that day in a matter of 20 minutes on day 2. And then day 3, I had 17, fairly quick that morning without really beating on my area real hard. So I felt like I knew the potential was there to have 17 to 20. I just really didn't know that I could potentially do it the 4th day, but I did feel like that pattern, and to have not fished it, but for, let's just say, 3 hours out of 2 days, and to catch one of the biggest bags of the tournament, and, to stop fishing at 10 o'clock the 3rd day and have 17.5 pounds, I knew the later part of the day, from 11, 12, 1 o'clock, that was when I was catching all my bigger fish.
Well, you did a great job right then, and to beat all those guys, because I got to tell you, and like you say, a lot of those fish got beat up pretty good. A couple of things. One is you use a shaky head. Tell our listeners, because a lot of them listen to the kind of things that the pros talk about, but your shaky head, a little bit about it, what size, what color worm, and on that chatterbait, was that a jackhammer or just a regular chatterbait? That's correct. I mean, I throw any spinning reel, whatever you prefer. I prefer a 7-foot medium spinning reel. I had 10-pound P-line braid to an 8-pound P-line full carbon leader. And then I just throw whatever shaky head. I've got some homemade ones that I make myself, from being in the South. We make a lot, have our own little quirks. So I was just throwing a little 1/8 ounce, and actually I think it was 1/8 ounce I had on there. And then our flirt worm is actually green pumpkin on top and June bug on the bottom. And I catch them all over the United States. But I love anything green pumpkin on the Tennessee River, but I just like a little bit of that June bug on the bottom and a little chartreuse on it. Especially that June bug is good. That was my main first thing I picked up. And then we also make, a pink couple of flirt worms. They're also the same thing. And I actually caught them on just a morning dawn or a straight pink flirt worm, the same size. It's like a 6.25. That's what I was throwing on a drop shot with about the same setup. I love it. And the Reactions Innovations, now, is that yes, sir. Is that you? I mean, is that? No, sir, that's what I use. There's another guy that actually owns it. He just takes care of us. That's what you use. From Alabaster out here. Yeah, and I love the spicy beaver and the flirt worm. Okay, Ron, see how that? Now, see, I'm into this stuff. The spicy beaver and the flirt worm, John. That's it. The spicy beavers when I was catching them flipping and from and that morning dawn color, that's good from coast to coast. Wait, John was telling us something. What did you say, John? I said I believe, just like he's talking about, that morning dawn and that spicy beaver, I actually will take that and put it on a chatterbait. That's what I was throwing on a chatterbait and some of the jig, because it'll actually slow. You can take a 1/2 ounce bait and you can slow that chatterbait down with something like that. And there's days they want a lot of that action. And then there's days I'll run a skinny dipper. And there's days I'll take a skinny dipper and cut the tail off to where it's just straight tail, like what we would do with a fluke, which we have a fluke style also, but it just depends on what the fish prefer. But I felt like when those fish were spawning, if I could slow it down
and still had the kick, you could get them to react to it on the chatterbait.
Well, I know when you went to the stage, I know your heart wasn't slowing down to walk up there and know you won by 1 pound 2 ounces. There's a $70,000 difference between first and second. You know that, John. So I mean,
yes,
what does this win?
That's life changing. I can tell you that.
Yeah. What does this win? What does it mean for you?
I mean, it's still. I guess I tell everybody every day. I mean, I sat down. I've been on the road for 8 straight weeks.
Wow.
I sat down Tuesday morning at my house. I'm fishing some other circuits also. I sat down on my kitchen. I made breakfast, and I looked at the trophy, and it's kind of starting to sink in. I mean, it's surreal that your lifelong dream as a kid, you want to go out and compete. I mean, it's hard. I mean, a lot of those guys. I mean, you'll go out there one day, and it makes it look easy, like I did. And then you go out there some days and you grind to catch 6 pounds, and then somebody comes in with 24 and they just make it look easy. I mean, that's just the level of the competition these days, and that's how hard it is. I mean, it's really, really hard. You can catch them, but to do it 3 or 4 days in a row with the pressure, with the amount of guys, the talent that we have, it's hard to do.
Right.
It felt good to actually close that deal and actually get a win.
Yeah, a little bit about your electronics. Did you have to use electronics then?
Yes, sir. I did a lot. I did a lot of my homework. Y'all know, being up there, living around there. I guess back in February, the water was down 5 to 6.5 foot deep.
Right. Yeah.
The water, they had dropped the water, I guess, for that time of year because gunners was down also. So I actually went up there and rode around, and everywhere that I'd fished in prior history, I could look and I'd have waypoints, and I would be like, all right, there's a little shell bed there. That's why I caught the fish. There would be like 2 stumps on this bar, and that would be exactly where my waypoints were, where I had previously caught them when the water was up. So I went around and marked a lot of this stuff that I had previously caught them on and stuff that I'd seen, and then going back and fishing some of that stuff again, was pretty amazing. But I feel like that homework helped a lot with what I did.
Well, we're going to have to let you go, John. We appreciate you being on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Again, Jon Canada, you folks, Google him and look at this big win and what it meant for him. And I know you got a lot of fans here in Memphis area, John, so I don't believe in luck, buddy. If the Lord meant for you to win, you won it, okay?
That's right. I woke up that morning, my feet hit the floor. If the good Lord wanted me to win, He already knew it before I was going fishing that day.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, I like you putting that trophy on the kitchen table and drinking your milk.
There you go. Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you, John.
Yes, sir.
You have a great weekend, buddy.
Sir.
We'll
have a great day, Larry.
Okay? All right. Ron, you go back to fishing, Ron. We'll talk to you next, all right?
All right. Take care.
Thank you, Ron Wall. Let's take a break on
Bye-bye.
Outdoors with Larry Ray and be right back.